How's it going, everybody? Ended up getting my skid plate today. Came in the mail. And it seems pretty thick, but it's ABS plastic. And it looks pretty good. It's got a rubber injection in on here where the frame rails are, so it doesn't rattle. There is a lot of venting. That's the one thing I do like, that there's holes in it, but it doesn't have the oil cap hole. So I'm gonna have to take this thing off every time I do an oil change. So, oh, and I also noticed this little part right here, it's sticking out on my bike. All it does is block the oil filter, so that's no good. I mean, I'd have to cut that off, but I still can't do a full oil change because there's no hole in here unless I drill one. Anyhow, it's got brass plugs up the top and the two little collars that go in down at the bottom, and there's 4 bolts. So you could either use an 8mm or you can use a T30. So I'm gonna see which ones. I'm gonna try and use the 8mm first. Let me give you the part number on this thing. First off, it's made in Italy, and there's the number. That's the skid plate. So, and it's the, you know, the KTM one. It's for Husqvarna or gas. And we're gonna slap it on the bike and see how it looks. It's probably one of the easiest skid plates I've ever bolted on. Yep. I'm gonna have to say that was the easiest skid plate I've ever bolted on. And it's done. It looks great. It's a ABS plastic. It's kind of flexible. It doesn't cover the water pump. The hole underneath of it, you can't get the cap off. I also noticed that you can't get to the oil filter also on this side. See how it blocks it in there? But it's very easy to bolt on. There's just one bolt here and one bolt there, and then you go on the other side. You got one bolt there and one bolt here, and that's it. I mean, it looks great, you know. It's just one of those things where you think that this skid plate has got a lot of vents in it. It's got a rubber anti-skid on here. It looks really cool, but you think that maybe this thing should have came on the bike, you know what I mean? A lot of these manufacturers are nickel and diming us to death on stuff, where they're like, oh, well, they'll buy the skid plate, you know, or they're gonna buy the graphics because if we make them look so ugly, they're gonna have to buy them, you know. This skid plate, it's okay, but it should have came on the bike, you know what I mean? If you have an off-road bike and you don't have a skid plate on it, you know, you're gonna end up with some issues. Popping a case or something like that. So at the minimum, I would buy this one, but there's tons of aftermarket ones that are 10 times better than this, and they're probably like $30 to $40 more expensive than this one. And the reason why I got this is I want to test it and see how it's going to do out there on the trail, and we'll find out eventually how good it is, you know, for the price. Like I said, there's tons of them on the aftermarket, and they're pretty good too, but I wanted to give these guys a shot, see how good this thing is. So that's my that's what I think about it. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll work out. I think the venting's nice. I'm just gonna have to take it off, but it's easy to get on and off, and the mounting points are real easy to get to, so it's not gonna hinder me for an extra 2 minutes to take this thing off to do an oil change. So I think it's rad. Okay, I'll see you guys later.